Welcome, YouTube family. Well, Priscilla and I are having a sit down again here, and we're going to share a little bit more about our story. And as you can probably tell by the title, what our story is about. Our last episode, one of our last ones, we told our story about our wedding, and that's we told our story of how we met, our love story. And if you haven't watched those videos, go back a month or so and you can watch those. And then we talked about our wedding and how we grew up. Amish was another one. And now we're talking about the first few years of our marriage. So I guess we'll just jump right in.
And about the twins, yeah.
Yep, and that included having our twins.
Yeah.
Yep. So go ahead, Priscilla. You want to take it away from where we kind of left off? We're going to ask Justin and Ethan to come, and we're going to ask them a few questions. So come on in, boys, and let's make some room. Okay, now
Is there room for all of us?
you can probably tell them apart because they've got shirts on.
Different color.
Different color shirts on.
Yeah, they better have shirts.
Yeah, they got shirts on, right? Okay, let's see. So, can you guys tell the difference? They're pretty similar looking. This is Justin right here, and this is Ethan. Ethan and Justin. So, Mom, I think you're going to ask them a couple questions.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what is it like to be twins? Or what is it, what are the benefits? Like, what do you like about being a twin? Ethan, Justin, did you want to go first?
I like being a twin because there's always someone to talk to and play with and do something with and do projects with and just have fun together.
That's good.
Yeah, and I like to be a twin because then I can play with someone my own age, and yeah.
There's one other thing they didn't mention. They like to play together, but they also like to fight together. They're actually really good boys,
Yeah.
but it's like kind of like a married couple. They're like best friends. They can't do without each other, but sometimes they can't hardly do with each other either. So they get some scraps sometimes, but they're quick to forgive, quick to say sorry, and move on. And
They're really good boys.
yep. And what other thing were you going to ask them?
I think that's pretty, what would you say, Justin, what would you say Ethan's personality is?
How about we'll let Ethan go first, since Justin
right.
went first last time. Okay, Ethan, what's Justin's personality like?
He's very creative and expressive when he's happy and when he's sad, and he likes to do projects with me, and yeah.
That's good.
That's about how it is. Okay.
Ethan's personality is maybe he's a little more quiet, and he's really creative, and if he wants to do something, he can get it done and doesn't quit, and he's really creative too.
Okay.
Is that it?
All right, that's good. They're both very creative ever since they were little. I think probably one reason is that they kind of feed off each other. So one of them comes with an idea, and the other one's like, "Yeah, that's a good idea." And then they like do this. Pretty soon they come up with this huge idea. And what's your latest project? We're actually making a video of this. Maybe we should let the cat out of the bag, but we will. What's your latest project, Ethan, that you and Justin connived up together? And you know how boys are. When they get started, like they think of this thing that they want to do. That's all they can think about. It's just like, do this one thing. And then when they're done doing that one thing, project, then it's like, okay, now that's done. No, what's the next thing? And then they do something else. So right now they're on a project with one focus, and that's to do this one project. And what is it, Ethan?
To build a tree house. Yeah, we're building a tree house.
And this is no ordinary tree house.
Yeah.
Okay, it's ordinary for them, but it's not ordinary for you, trust me. I'll just give you a quick sneak peek. This tree house, we have a genie lift. For those of you know what a genie lift is, it's like a four-wheel drive machine that has an arm that extends way up with a basket on it, and you can stand up in the arm like if you needed to get up to the top of a building or paint buildings or something. And I have this thing extended as far as it can go, and here's the basket, and I'm standing on top of the basket to reach the floor of our treehouse. That's how far up it is. So I don't know how we're ever going to get to the roof. We might have to put a ladder inside the basket to reach the roof. But just to give you an idea, it's a long ways up there.
It's a little scary for Mama.
And even little Wyatt, which is 7, he likes heights. He's even was crying that they wanted to put it up so high because it was too high for him. So they wanted to put it a lot higher. Like they already had their steps going a lot higher. But I said, there's no way we can get, like, an extension ladder won't reach, in the basket up to where they wanted to go. They were like at the top of the trees almost. Not quite even close. So they were way up there, let's put it that way. It was too scary. So we said, I can't reach it. Let's build it where we can actually reach it. So that's their project right now.
They just started though.
Yep, they just started. We did a little bit of work on it, but yeah, they're really good. This summer they're wearing a tool belt helping Dad out on the job. They're really good at what they do. So we're proud of our boys. We're proud of all our children. And so, anything else you guys want to say?
No. I don't know. Happy anniversary.
Oh yeah, it's our anniversary today, actually.
Yes.
Thank
It
you,
is our
Justin.
anniversary.
Yep.
And how many years, Ethan?
16 years.
16 years. Priscilla and I were married.
Yep.
Yep, awesome.
We're gonna do something later. Go out,
Yep,
spend some time together.
a couple days just to hang out. So, okay. Thanks, boys. Good night.
Night.
All right. Love you.
Okay. Night, Dad.
Good night. Love you.
Oh,
Love you. We lived in this little tiny cabin that didn't have an indoor bathroom for about 2.5 years. Yeah, and it was nice. We loved it. It was not much work, and we just did a lot of traveling. And but about we were almost 2 years married, not quite, when I got pregnant. And
sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
we're tired. And we were excited, and we had no idea that there would be twins, and I never even gave it a thought that there would be twins because there was no twins in my family. But as soon as we found that out, were you already working on this house?
Yeah, so I actually started building our home here the year we were married. I started pushing dirt, so we got married in June. In I think September, I brought our big dozer D8 Cat up here, and I started making a road in here and everything. So I worked on it for about 2 years. Right? Yeah, I worked on it 2 years, and the boys were born 2.5 years into our marriage. They were born in November. We were married in June.
Yeah, he was working. He was really trying to get the basement done so that we could get in here before the boys are born, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
It was too much.
I would work late at night till midnight, working downstairs, trying to do things, and finally I just said I can't do it. And my sister Leona offered. So Leona is my second oldest sister, and she was only married 7 months, I believe, and her husband passed away from cancer. So she is a wonderful sister to me. She practically raised me along with my mom, and of course, but she was like a second mom to me. And she offered to let us stay in her house, and she moved upstairs in her house, and we moved into her house a few months before.
It was like only a month before, but we thought it was a few months
Yeah.
before, but it was only like a month before they were born.
A few months before Priscilla's due date.
Yeah.
And we got her master bedroom, and she moved upstairs, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I was just telling you, Priscilla.
Very nice.
Priscilla was huge. With twins, she was small. She's not a big girl, anyways, and she actually lost weight. Am I right with the twins?
Yeah.
It was huge, but she lost weight, so that I can tell you one thing.
The twins kept growing, but like my legs and arms got thinner.
Yeah, so. she like shrank into this little shrivel, but she was huge. So I felt so bad for her.
Yeah. So, anyways, when I started showing, people started saying, like his mom started saying, "Are you sure there's not twins in there? You're like showing a lot." And I was like, this was my first time, so I didn't know what to expect. So I just always said, "Oh no, I must just show. I must just be big." And but as time went on, even we had a midwife, and she even started asking us if we wouldn't go get an ultrasound, because she was careful not to say that she thinks we might have twins, but she mentioned it a little bit. She said that she would really want us to get an ultrasound done, and I was just sure I didn't have twins, and because, well, this was my first time, and I didn't know what to expect or how it would feel, and but we decided to do it.
Mm-hmm. So Priscilla was laying there doing the ultrasound. I was beside her, and this nurse said, "There's a second one in there."
Yeah, she said, "Yep, there's definitely two in there," and
We
I was
just
like,
shocked.
I said, "What? Are you sure?" Because it's hard to see on the ultrasound, and she just had this dinky ultrasound.
Yeah.
And
remember, this was over 13 years ago, so they weren't nearly as good as they are today.
Yeah, and she said, "Oh yes," and so she was trying to see if they were boys or girls, and she said, well, she thinks for sure one is a girl, the other one she couldn't tell, and she said probably is a girl too. So that's what I was actually thinking, that maybe it's a girl.
And
maybe they're girls.
And my mom was always wanted twin girls, so she was so excited that we might have twin girls. And so we had twin girl names picked out and everything. And
yeah, but then later we got another ultrasound, and then they saw that one was a boy, but they still couldn't tell what the other one was, and they thought maybe the other one was a girl. So I kind of expected a boy and a girl.
mm-hmm.
And so we kind of prepared for that. And then, yeah, we decided to move to Leona's house, his sister Leona's house, because I was having some health issues where I was pretty much on bed rest, and with the twins. So that was a blessing to be able to move over there.
And for a whole month she was
on bed rest,
yeah,
basically.
she couldn't get up and around. It was not a fun time.
Mm-hmm. But by the way, we did not find out that we had twins until we were almost 7 months along. It was like 6.5, 7 months along, because we just didn't think we had twins and then we gave birth at 36 weeks and 1 day. So it was like 8 months. So it was, it wasn't long.
Justin was 6 pounds, 5 ounces, and Ethan was 6 pounds, 10 ounces.
Yes, but let's tell the story of Thanksgiving over at Mom and Dad's house in Bonners Ferry. So this was around Thanksgiving, and we went over to my parents' house, who lived in Bonners Ferry, Idaho at the time.
I'm terribly sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm tired. We're doing this late at night because the kids are in bed. And so I have this terrible yawning thing going on, so please forgive me.
Yeah.
So back to Thanksgiving.
Yeah. We went over to Bonners Ferry for Thanksgiving.
At her parents' place?
At my parents' place. Mm-hmm. And it was an early Thanksgiving. I think it was like the 24th. Oh no, yeah, the 24th. Yeah, they were born the
Right.
24th.
Mm-hmm.
So, and so we were there, and they were just getting dinner ready, and actually Joas and my brother Benjamin were out elk hunting, and
there was no cell phone service while we were, but remember this was a month before the due date, so
yeah, it was a month before, so
It's
we
totally
didn't really
fine,
expect
right?
anything. Although we were told that they might come early.
right.
So then as they were preparing dinner, I went upstairs to lay down a little bit. I just felt so tired. And then all of a sudden, I felt water gushing. And so I ran for the bathroom, and my water broke. And so I called up my midwife, and she hadn't been doing midwifery that long, and she had never done twins, and actually she couldn't do the twins. It wasn't
Deliver the twins.
Yeah, she wasn't allowed to deliver the twins.
Montana law says you have to have twins in the hospital.
Yeah, so
Or at home, you just can't have a midwife to do them.
but she was going to be with us at the hospital and have it as much like a home birth as possible, or like anyways, I called her, and she was like, oh, just relax, eat dinner. They probably won't be born till the next day. And so I just planned on doing that, but 20 minutes later, I started with contractions, and it was back labor. It was really, and it started in hard almost immediately. Like, maybe about 20 minutes later, I realized this is getting so hard. I have to do something about this. And Joas wasn't here, and I couldn't get him on the cell phone. And I told my mom, actually my mom saw how much it was already progressing, yeah, because I was kind of leaning over a chair and just kind of, and she told my older sister Esther, she said, we gotta get her to Libby, because this is going fast.
It's an hour and a half drive too.
It was an hour 15
minutes. Yep.
Yeah, and so they desperately were trying to get a hold of Joas, and my sister-in-law Dora was trying to get a hold of Benjamin too, to see my brother Benjamin, to see if he could contact Joas, because they were hunting together. And she actually got a hold of Benjamin and told him that he has to get Joas here right away. And so
long story
after
short.
that,
Yep.
yeah. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Just a long story short, her sister threw in her car. They raced down towards home, and I met them on the road. We switched cars. I had my hunting clothes on. I jumped behind the steering wheel of her sister's car, and I raced at 90 to 100 miles an hour towards Libby. I was not going to let her have babies in the back seat. And I couldn't find the flashers. It was dark. I was used to the car the whole way over. I was trying to find my flashers. I couldn't find them. I just pedaled down, raced through the night, and raced towards Libby. And I got there in record time, probably like 30 minutes or something. I mean, I just flew 100 miles an hour.
Really fast, because my contractions were like almost every minute.
Yeah,
it came so fast.
If there was a cop going to stop me, I would have ran back and said, "Follow me to the hospital," because and nothing was going to stop me. So.
Yeah. So when we actually got to the hospital.
Actually, we didn't go to the hospital.
Yeah, we first went to the.
Midwifery's.
Place.
The midwife's, she's got a birthing center.
Yeah, the birthing center.
Close to the hospital.
Because she didn't think I was probably that far along, and then she told the doctor that, then she realized I was already dilated to 5, and she told the doctor, and the doctor told her, get her in right now. So they pretty much carried me into the van, and the hospital wasn't far away, and we
blocks.
and they took me right over to the hospital, and thankfully right through that time I never had a contraction. It just let up. But as soon as I got into the hospital, I started up again. And a couple times I thought I couldn't make it. But I started into labor at around 4, and they were born around 8 o'clock.
PM.
Yes.
Okay, so I said we raced through the night. It was like winter, so it was already dark by. It was dusk by the time I picked her up.
Yeah.
I think it was just still. It wasn't quite dark yet, but it gets dark really early in the wintertime
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
By 4:30, it's already dark.
Yeah. So it was around 3.5 to 4 hours of labor altogether, but it was so intense. And Justin came out first, and he was 5 pounds.
I said 6 pounds 5 ounces.
6 pounds 5 ounces.
Yeah.
And 21 minutes later, Ethan came out, and he was 6 pounds 10 ounces.
Yeah, and this was natural
Yeah.
birth, no cesarean.
Yes, this was natural. And so they were big boys for a month early.
Right.
I had like almost 13 pounds of baby in me.
Yeah, it was crazy. Plus,
Huge placenta.
yeah, it was huge. It was huge, unbelievable, it was thick, and
So yeah, that was an experience for sure. And they were our first.
yeah. Ethan was. I'll just tell you about Ethan when he was born. Justin was
Yeah.
doing well as soon as he came out, but Ethan was. He didn't breathe for about over 30 seconds, and it was scary. Like I felt like I held my breath the whole time. The doctors were trying to like pat him and suction him, and he said, "Don't panic. We can go a minute."
They were just like rubbing his feet and kind of rubbing his back, and I was laying there and I just wanted to go slap that baby to make it cry.
And I just felt this panic rising up. Just 30 seconds, still nothing. And anyways, then all of a sudden he let out a wail, and it was all good.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of a long story about the twins, but that was an amazing experience. And then Priscilla was still on bed rest again for a while after that.
Was I?
Or a couple weeks, right? I mean, I took you on a date.
Oh yeah.
Well, how long after that? A couple weeks or something, but
Yeah.
anyways, you started improving soon after the babies were born, but she was very weak for a long time, and
I was so used to have so much weight that
she would lean back as she walked.
yeah, that after the babies were born, right, the first time I got up to go walking, I started falling backwards because I was so used to have the weight in front of me.
Counterbalance.
Yeah, I actually started falling backwards, and thankfully he was behind me. He caught me.
Took her a while to get
So
balanced
yeah, I was
again.
pretty weak. Because I actually had lost weight, and
She was still pretty, like she says. She's pretty and weak.
but I gained my strength back pretty quickly. And they were really healthy babies. I was so thankful for that. They were strong, healthy babies and did really well.
They did get jaundice, both of them.
A little bit, yes. And it was in the winter time. And,
Yeah.
But yeah.
But they were we'll show you some pictures of them. They were so cute. I gotta tell you. I mean, everybody's own kids are the cutest, right?
Yeah.
But you're gonna think that they're actually pretty cute. They were so cute. Yeah, I'd look at the pictures. I'm like, wow, just such cute little, perfect little bald-headed boys.
Yeah.
But
I learned to nurse them both at the same time. And I nursed them till they were 10 months.
for a while they were alternating, and none of us was getting any sleep because I would get up and help her. And it was like round the clock feeding, like we were just exhausted, like it was unbelievable. And after we had Avalon, which was her second birth, second pregnancy, and third child, but second birth, whatever. It just seemed like such an easy thing to raise one child.
It was different,
It
yes.
is, but it is. It's like I always say, double blessing. But double the work. I mean, double work, but double the blessing that way. It's double everything, and yeah, it was a challenge, no doubt. It puts some, but we were glad that we had 2 years of marriage behind us already, and we, that was good. It would be really rough to go right into marriage, I think, and to get pregnant right away, and especially to have twins or triplets or something like that. It would be even a single baby would be difficult.
Yeah. So, by the way, when they were born, I was so happy that there were 2 boys. I was glad that it wasn't a boy and a girl, which that would have been fine, but I love that they were 2 boys.
Mhm.
And we think they're identical, but we're not sure because we never
Right.
did testing or anything, so, or, you know, DNA tests.
We'd still like to sometime, we
But-
just haven't
hmm
buckled down and spent the money
Most-
to do it.
Yeah, most people can't tell them apart.
Right. The only way people can tell them apart is Justin has his curlicue where his hair parts in the back, his lick is on the side a little bit, and Ethan's right dead center in the back. That's how my mom tells them apart. She goes,
Yeah.
okay boys, turn around, let me see which one you are. But they vary. Sometimes they're really close to the same, and other times they're farther, they don't look as similar.
So I guess we didn't talk that much about our marriage. We mostly talked about our twins, but I would say our first few years of marriage were really good and hard at the
Mhm.
same time. Yeah.
Well, one thing that we discovered, and maybe I'll put the link below, because this particular person had really helped us, and I
Yeah.
know that some of you watching have gone and have benefited from her, but it really radically changed our lives, and it really helped our marriage because we learned about personalities
Mhm.
and why we're so different, and how to not change each other, but just appreciate our differences, even though that's difficult at
Yeah.
times. And that way I could understand why isn't she like me, and she is like, why am I so different from her?
Mhm.
And it was just, that's the way God made us. And so that really helped us a lot. I'd say about year 2 in our marriage, year and a half or something like that, we stumbled onto her.
Mhm.
And her name is Dani Johnson, Dani Johnson, DaniJohnson.com. But we had gone to a lot of her conferences, and it really helped us a lot, and it helped us financially a lot. And it's just a journey that we went on. But beginning we went through, it was wonderful being married. But then we also went through some hard times, and then just like all marriages do, I believe. But
Mhm.
we never, I guess, in our marriage, we both went into marriage, and this is not to put any condemnation on anybody, but we just went in like for us, there was no exit. And that was just no matter what, and it still is that way for us. No matter what happens, and sometimes we still have little things we work through.
No, we don't, babe.
Yeah, right. We still are separate people, different people, and we still go through things. It's not perfect, but there's no exit for us. Like no
Right.
matter what, this video you can watch in 20, 30 years from now, and I'll be married to Priscilla. I'm not planning on exiting, and there's no matter what, we're gonna work through it. So that's how we went into marriage, and always realizing that the back door is closed, and we're gonna work through it, whatever it takes,
Yeah.
through difficult times.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, we had no other choice. We
Right.
had to work through it some way or the other. But yes, Dani Johnson was such a blessing at that time of our lives, and we still every once in a while go to her conferences. Just
and it's not just as much that as the people that we met there. Like it started us a journey of multiple things. Like it led us on this path of this person, which led us into a new insight in life to this other thing. And it was just this journey that we went on,
right.
even led all the way into how we raise dogs now. Like we wouldn't have, maybe God would have brought it about another way, but we found out about our Australian Labradoodles through a friend of ours that we met at Dani Johnson.
Yeah.
And so just a lot of connections, and
Yeah.
so that was really good. But yeah, we did go on some trips. It was really cool right after we were married. There's no responsibilities. We had this little cabin, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I could go back to that, But,
And we had just started driving
oh, yeah. So
just
we were
before we were married.
Yeah, so it was like this freedom, and I remember the first winter we were both feeling sick. We had the flu, and we're like, oh, it would just feel so good to go to hot springs. Okay, let's go to the hot springs.
So we just took off.
Took off and drove the 2 hours to the hot springs and soaked in the hot springs. It was so fun. And then we took a couple trips, business trips for Meadowlark Love Homes, and Priscilla says, I'm ready for babies, and I'm like, I don't think I am really. But they came.
Yeah. Now we've got 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope you enjoyed this part of the first few years and our twins. It was, I guess, mainly about our twins.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's a topic we didn't cover or something that you guys would like to hear us talk about some more, please comment below. We read all the comments, and we're very grateful for all of you that are commenting. And it's amazing all the places that you comment that you're from. Like recently, Denmark. Like, how would you find us from Denmark? I have no idea. It's amazing. A lot of you are watching from Australia, and just all over around the world. It's so incredible to us. But we just desire to be a blessing, and we want you to have the same joy and freedom that we do. It's available to everybody. We're not special, more special than you are. God made you, He made us, and He made the world, and that's what we believe. And we're not here to be politically correct. We're not going to be politically correct. I'm very much opposed to that. There's too much politically correct people in the world today. And so we just want to be real. We don't want to have any fakeness going on. And we just love our family, and we love the Lord. And just to kind of give you, I'll just say like a little recap of what my day was like. We had been working hard all week, and so I didn't go to work today because I wanted to get caught up. And there was also a little girl, 11 years old, passed away from a car accident. Not from our community, but some people that had just started coming to our Friday night worship. And so we got to know their family, and literally the evening before she got killed, she was in one of our meetings. And so today we had the family, extended family and things, were at our community center. And tonight some of us men dug the grave. Tomorrow there will be services. She's being buried in our community cemetery. And so just, life is real, and man, life is just, it goes on, and we just treasure our children, and we long to see the kingdom of God in the fullness in this earth, and that all people would know the joy and the love of our Heavenly Father. So we bless you, we love you, and we thank you again for watching.
Yes.
And stay tuned for more videos, and don't forget to subscribe.